Listen up, partners. This is Good, Bad, Ugly on World Improv Network.
Good evening, everyone. I am Alex.
I'm Jim.
I'm David.
And we are your astute wind counselors to get you through the week with any daily grind issues or any problems that you might be experiencing. So we're going to help you out. And our first winner is Kevin from Yuba City, California. And he writes, Dear Win, is there no such thing as self-dignity anymore in people these days, or what?
Yeah, I think that's very true. I think people are so wrapped up in their own world.
Mm-hmm.
They're just generally at a base level very selfish,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just going out to get theirs, and they don't care what other people think or how it makes them look.
So like narcissistic with no manners on top of it.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Or no etiquette, maybe is a better way to put it, huh?
Either way, no respect.
Mores of the local, culturals.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, David?
Yeah, it makes me think of Boy in the Bubble.
Oh,
You know that movie Boy in the Bubble where the kid lived in a bubble?
Mm.
right.
And
With John Travolta.
Oh, I thought he was by himself.
And, no, the movie starred John Travolta.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you just are rolling through this bubble down the street and you kind of knock people out of the way and do your own thing.
So if you're rolling on the street in a bubble, would you be completely naked because you don't have any self-dignity anymore? Would you be urinating yourself? Would maybe throwing fecal matter inside the bubble, rolling down the street? I mean, you have no dignity, right? Is that kind of where you're leading at, or?
Well, then the opaqueness of your bubble would kind of give you a different view of the world, so it'd be dirtier.
Okay, all right. So you really wouldn't care less. You wouldn't care less about what's going on in the outside world,
But you would be so self-absorbed
right?
in your own bubble, full of your own
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah. Your own excrements.
Yeah, you would just be one within and of yourself.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna. That's kind of interesting, Dave. I mean, I would like to elaborate on that, but I think I'm going to drift a little bit more towards Jimbo here, and that is, yeah, I think that people are so self-absorbed and are so, driven to just do what they want to do and don't care about anyone else's feelings, anyone else's timetables, no sense of respect, to a large degree, because it's a missing out factor. If you don't get yours, you're going to miss out. So it's every day, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, or I'm missing out because Jimmy has this, or Jack has this. Or...
I got to play Pokemon Go while I'm driving around.
That's right.
Because I got to catch them all.
And if you don't catch the Pokemon in the right lane, you better cross over to the, into traffic and make sure to stop traffic to get your Pokemon.
Yeah, cutting me off on the way to work.
Yeah. No, you can't. And or get your, find your Pokemon stops right in the middle, in the intersection. Doesn't matter if it's green light. Spin that wheel. Get your, little Pokeballs and your, your revitalization crystals and stuff.
There's Pokemon police cars now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're undercover. But
They
they're
are.
actually real police.
They are real police.
they're not Pokemon.
No.
No, the real police. So, if you go into a business, like across the street, there's a couple of businesses as we're looking out the studio window, and if there's a sign on the door, it says, for paying customers only, Pokemon, don't come inside unless you're paying. Meaning, because if you have your little GPS thing and it says there's a Pokemon inside that pizza place right there across the street, then you go inside there to capture the Pokemon, and the guy's staring at you, and you're just shooting little balls at the guy's forehead because that's where the Pokemon is. Then you walk right back out.
Yeah.
Again.
But that's assault.
That is
You're
assault.
assaulting.
That's a Poke assault.
That's a very nasty Poke assault.
Yeah, and those balls are pretty heavy because, they capture and hold beasts in it. So, they got to have some mass to them.
They suck brain matter out.
They do. Yeah. And that's how they get you. Well, anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. No dignity. We're going to move on to our next one here, and that's Sarah. She's the winner from Brooklyn, New York, and she writes, Dear Win, so many people in the city are going completely nuts over the new Pokemon Go app. Walking around aimlessly trying to find and catch Pokemon on their iPhones while not paying attention to traffic or just about anything else at all. Any thoughts? Well, we kind of touched on that.
Yeah, it's a fundamental lack of respect.
Mm-hmm. And what would you do if you saw someone, let's say, driving down Fifth Avenue and just stopping on a dime to catch a Pokemon in front of a taxi cab?
I would get out of my car.
Right.
I would tap on their window very politely until they rolled it down, and then I would berate them like the 3-year-old that they're acting like.
Okay.
Because that's how you discipline a child.
That's
You
fair enough.
Yell at it.
Yell at it until it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you break them down emotionally.
Uh-huh.
Just make them cry.
Right.
And then maybe you reward them somehow with some little trinket just to, leave them on a positive note, and then they can rebuild from there.
Interesting.
Hey, I'm curious if so you've got a pedestrian doing the Pokemon thing, you've got the driver of vehicle doing a Pokemon thing, and there's an accident. So I'm just wondering what would happen in court.
Who'd be
because
at fault?
You've got two. I mean, I know pedestrians. At least my mom used to say always have the right of way, but I don't believe that anymore.
Yeah,
I think
but
that would be solved by a Pokemon battle between the Pokemon
That's
they
it.
each
They'd,
caught.
they'd have to go to a Poke Gym, and one of them would have to be on a different team, the blue team, red team, or yellow team, and they'd have to battle it out with their best Pokemon. Whoever wins the court case.
And you mentioned a bubble. Maybe walk around in the bubble and play Pokemon, and that would.
Oh,
be
you could have
safe from the traffic.
a protective Pokemon bubble.
Oh, that's a
For
good
the-
idea,
For the
Kyle.
car and the pedestrian.
So then it's
Yeah.
like almost like bumper pool.
Mm-hmm.
You hit the guy, big deal, because you're paying attention to your Pokemon in your car. The guy in the bubble's paying attention to the Pokemon, so he doesn't see the car. And they hit the guy, and he doesn't die because he's in the bubble. That's protected, and he gets launched 80 feet into the state capitol building. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think we should try an experiment and just put everyone in a bubble in one like region,
Right?
and all cars must be in bubble. Like everything, all businesses must be in bubbles too.
We'd have to widen all our roads
Yeah, that's a good point.
to comfortably accommodate bubbles. But I mean, hey, improving the infrastructure can't hurt.
Where would we start with this experiment? You know, should we do it in Wyoming where there's no humans at all, or do it right in the
No.
middle of Times Square?
Mm.
Oh, I like that idea.
How about Central Park? You can do a dog bubble park
Okay.
with pokey pets.
Oh man. Well, I mean, Pokemon kind of are your pets because you capture them and then you nurture them and you make them stronger and you evolve them and things like that. So you feed them, you know, like little Poke cakes and stuff. You know, maybe that's yeah, that's a good idea. Start in Central Park, New York.
Yeah, it's like starting a new civilization.
Ah, yeah.
The-
Okay. Well, that's our thought there, Sarah. I mean, I think there's a way around this because we can allow people still to have the freedom to play Pokemon Go. We still have people that can be completely absent-minded, but now we're taking out the death factor and the liability factor from court cases by putting everybody in bubbles, right? And then everyone's just bouncing around, you know, like a bumper pool machine or something, you know, like a pinball machine, going down the streets, cars hitting cars, cars hitting humans, horses kicking people. It doesn't make a difference.
That's the perception of happiness.
That
So
is.
we've just solved the
Oh,
issue with antidepressants.
That's very true. Dave, you're brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. Well, Mickey's our next winner, and Mickey hails here from not too far away from us in Littleton, Colorado, and he writes, "Dear Win, do you guys know about prostitots? What do you think of them? What is a prostitot?"
I don't know. I have ideas,
Okay.
none of which sound like something to bring up in mixed company.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with it. It is a sentient tater tot
Uh-huh.
that is gonna decide who eats it for a price.
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Maybe there's like a pimp tot
Okay.
that's, you know, figuring out, you know, organizing Johns.
The highest bidder
Yeah,
or the best biter?
yeah.
With the most flavor?
Mm-hmm.
Dave, what's a prostitot?
Yeah, so a prostitot actually is a homeless infant whose mother works on the streets in Vegas, and
Oh.
what they actually do is leave them at fire stations, and they're actually free. So if you want to
Have a freak child.
have a child and
yeah.
you have issues where you can't have your own,
Great.
you can get a prostitot at any fire station.
So it's almost
Oh.
like
It's
so-
west of the Mississippi. So they're just trying it with half the country.
You know, and actually, that if I recall correctly, that's where Matt Damon got his daughter.
in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was a prostitot.
Well, that's social activism right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're doing a good thing. You're leaving a child for someone else to take it,
Yeah.
which is kind of giving.
There are
Very nice.
so many couples that want children.
Right.
that
Can't have
just-
them.
Yeah.
That's right.
And prostitutes are the next best thing than your own.
They're the
Mhm.
ultimate, sharing gift. You know what a prostitute I think is? I really do like that though, Dave. But I think it might be something else. I think it's a prostate that's fallen out of a body and has lost itself and is sitting on the corner with a totem pole wanting someone to stuff it back into their body.
Like an inner child. It's like your inner child that fell out.
That makes total sense. That has to be what it is. Or maybe it's just Matt Damon's child himself.
Yeah. Either way, I think we're winners, regardless of which of those two it is.
Or even the third. It could be the tater tot. but either way, we solve this problem. And Mickey, we've got your answers. And Mickey, I hope that helped. And we got one more little piece of inspiration, get you the rest of the week, known as Horoscope Corner.
Love, fortune, status. Let us do your astrological chart. Horoscope Corner on World Improv Network.
Hey, Aquarius, you're going to be Aquarius unless you go check out the World Improv Network. We're on Facebook. We have a group there. Check us out, like us. You can also find us on YouTube. We have a channel, the World Improv Network. Subscribe, check out old shows and video and clips. Leave some likes, leave some comments. You can check us out on Twitter at World Improv Net. You can send us suggestions. We'll use those in the show. You can check us out also iTunes and Google Play. You can get our podcast. It's up there. Leave a review, subscribe, leave some downloads. And as always, you can check us out live Sunday nights, AM 1340, simulcast on KDCO 104.7, AM 1340 Mile High Sports.
Thanks for listening to Win on Mile High Sports Radio. Don't forget to be a winner and interact with the cast by sending your suggestions or questions for each show segment throughout the week by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, on Twitter at World Improv Net, or by calling into the Mile High Sports Radio studio line on Sundays before or during the show. See you next week.